When it comes to watches, the colour red is for sure one of the most underserved. It's actually rather hard to find a watch with a red dial, and even if you do, usually you don't get much choice. Today, that's not the case. I've compiled a list of 20 awesome watches with red dials, from divers to dress watches to integrated bracelets and even some sexy chronographs. If you don't yet own a red dial, now's the chance to find the perfect one for you. I thought we'd start with the watch that started my obsession with red dials. I'm of course talking about the affordable icon, the Orient Kamasu. This dive watch is still regarded by some as the best budget diver, because not only does it feature a fantastic spec sheet for the money, but the dial options are also beautiful. There's actually two red dial versions with the Kamasu, one that features a gradient finish with a red bezel, and one that features a sunburst finish with a black bezel. For me, it's the latter that's the better choice here. The red dial on this watch is unbelievably dynamic, changing dramatically depending on the lighting conditions. I'll leave links for all of the watches featured today and timestamps in the description below. But in terms of a dress watch, there's no better place to go currently than the Seiko Cocktail Time. This one is one of the most underrated when it comes to the range, but I think it's one of the best looking. This is the Seiko Negroni reference SRPE41. It offers your typical Cocktail Time sophistication with a classy dial design and a clean case silhouette. The dial finish here is one of the most interesting on today's video because you get some guilloche, sunburst and gradient finishes all at once. And because this watch doesn't feature much of a bezel, that red really is pungent here. If at any point you feel like this video has earned your subscription, I'd love for you to join our community by just hitting subscribe. Alternatively, just dropping a like rating is a great way to show some support. So how about 2 picks for the price of 1? Well, that's exactly what we get from Citizen here. There is a version of the Tsuyosa that comes with a punchy red dial, very similar to the Kamasu in that it's quite dynamic. This time though, it's probably the least appreciated from the Tsuyosa line. But if you fancy something with a gold case, then Citizen also offers a red dial Tsuyosa in rose gold. This one is pretty flashy and will definitely catch the eye if that's your thing, but the quality across the Tsuyosa range is fantastic for the money. Question is, which one do you prefer? Moving on to our first micro brand pick of the video, one that you should for sure consider is the Erebus Ascent Red Helix. This is the first time today that you actually get a choice of size, with this watch offered in both 41 and 39mm. But both sizes share the exact same spec sheet except for dimensions. These are for sure some of the best value options on today's video, with these watches delivering everything you could possibly hope for, albeit I don't think they have as much excitement as some of the other watches we'll be featuring today. But for the price, these are hard to beat. Our second diver comes from Monro with the Ocean Adventure. This one is another value-packed pick that, like the Ascent, isn't missing a single spec, and I think it offers a bit more excitement in terms of the design too. The red dial here isn't as detailed or as dynamic as some of the other options we'll have today, but a beautiful shade of red nonetheless. Every time I handle one of these, I'm always amazed at how much they cost, because the quality of the finishing, clasp and bezel here is exceptional for the money. This one also comes with a red rubber strap, so you can really double down on that red look. Fancy something underrated? Check out this hidden gem by French watchmaker Herbelin. This watch for sure offers some Cartier Santos vibes with the squared case and screwed bezel, but the bracelet style and dial design still delivers some originality. This one features a textured finish to the dial, with horizontal lines across the surface, and we have a gradient finish here with red in the center fading to black around the perimeter. This one also features the Made in France stamp on the dial, so something completely different to add to the collection. These are powered by a Swiss quartz movement, but that makes this a great grab and go option. What do you think about this watch? But back to something a bit more common. This is a good chance to pick up a steel G-Shock. The GM2100 range features this stunning red dial option. This is one of the most eye-catching red dials today because it's incredibly bright and lively. Even the indexes and hands are coloured red on this one. I also enjoy the gunmetal grey case on this G-Shock, which I think contrasts really nicely with the red. And because this is a Casio, obviously the value for money here is fantastic. This is also regarded as one of the best G-Shocks for smaller wrists if you need one. Finding a Swiss-made red dial is not easy. Thankfully, Tissot does offer the Seastar chronograph in a gorgeous red option. This one fades from red in the center center to black on the bezel almost perfectly. And this is a diver chronograph, so you get a 300-meter water resistance rating here. This is probably the biggest watch on today's video, coming in with a massive 45mm case diameter, so you'll either need a bigger wrist to pull this one off, or a preference for massive watches. But as Swiss-made options are so scarce, this one is for sure worth considering. But if you want something with an unusual complication, check out the Enigma by Venezianico. This is what's known as a regulator watch, which means the hours and minutes are displayed independently. But this one is probably one of my favourites in terms of the actual red dial. I think that the shade of red here is unbelievably sophisticated. Also note that you get an exceptionally well-made leather strap with this watch, which is made in Italy, and the strap almost perfectly matches the dial with a red and black finish. But is the two-hand layout on this one just a bit too weird for you? Continuing with that unusual vibe, we actually have another Swiss-made option. Now this is one of the most expensive on today's video, coming in at just under $1,000, but you do get something pretty special here. This is the Hamilton Jazzmaster Open Heart, and simply put, you'll struggle to find another Swiss-made skeleton watch under $1,000. Throw in the red dial too, and I think this is the only option. Considering the lack of symmetry here, I think this watch is beautiful, and you get to see just enough of the mechanical movement without sacrificing too much legibility. However, if you want a similar style but want to spend considerably less, then you should consider this one by Pompeak. The Swiss movement has been swapped for a Japanese one, which dramatically reduces the cost, but the open heart remains with another gorgeous red dial. Tons of detail amongst the dial here, with guilloche, fumet, and plenty of different levels, but I still think this one offers an abundance of elegance. There's only 15 of these being made, so if you like it then you'll need to be quick, and at less than half the cost of the Hamilton, it's definitely worth considering. Now this next one is currently sold out, so this is one that you'll have to add to the watch list and keep an eye out for fresh stock. But it's sold out because it's so damn good for the cash. One of the best looking red dials I've ever checked out is the Leviathan by Phoibos. You'll for sure have to be okay with the octopus logo on the dial, but if you can get past that, and of course actually find one of these, the watch itself is epic. It also features one of the best looking frosted handsets I've ever seen on a watch. But if you want a red dial diver right now, then you can have this next one on your wrist within days. The Citizen Promaster diver is actually older than me, and by quite a few years too, and it's pretty much stayed the exact same throughout its entire life. That's because the design here fits the bill perfectly. Awesome legibility, a punchy bezel, and a clean case silhouette. You actually double up on the red here with a red dial and red bezel, and also notice the word divers on the dial, making this a true tried and tested diving instrument, which by the way we don't usually see these days for under $500. And there's actually another affordable icon that comes in red. I bet some of you didn't even know that you can get a Bulova Lunar Pilot in this colour. Sure, I think I prefer the blue and white over the red, but still, it's a great option if you want to get a watch with some proper history. Bulova calls this one the Blood Moon, so there's still a nice link there to the moon story, and this is the smaller 43mm version, so there's more chance of it not wearing like a dinner plate. Question is, which version of the Lunar Pilot is your favourite? But if you're a fan of value more so than heritage, then this is one to consider. Baltany is a Chinese watch brand that offers some gorgeous vintage-inspired designs. My favourite from the brand is still this absolute stunner. This watch not only features a sexy burgundy red dial, but it also features some bronze elements that ties everything together beautifully. In terms of design alone, this is one of my favourites today. And the best part of this watch is that it's dirt cheap. You can often find it for less than $150, and it features a sapphire crystal, mechanical movement, and that beautiful bronze bezel. Sticking with the insane value theme, we'll be visiting another Chinese brand, this time one of the most popular, San Martin. This watch was one of the first names on today's list, simply because it is an awesome watch for the money. The red dial here is actually made from enamel, so you get a deep hue that not many other red dials offer, and as this is a San Martin, you also get some incredible finishing along with it. This one is now offered in 3 different sizes, so you really can find the perfect one for you. Returning to a classic, you actually get 2 red dial options with the Orient Bambino. Both very similar in dial design, but different in functionality. One is your classic Bambino with applied Roman numerals and a date complication. The other features 2 extra subdials with a sun and moon indicator and a day of the week subdial. This is a great option to get some added complications into the collection if you want them. And yes, this is a mechanical movement too, making the Orient Bambino Sun and Moon, one of the most affordable calendar style watches on the market. Which version of the Bambino is your favourite? Now, this next one hasn't even been released yet, but it's launching in 2 weeks on Kickstarter at an insane price, so I just had to feature it today. Monro Adventure gets another watch on today's video with their upcoming release, the Urban Adventure. This is a massive selection of sporty watches, but one in particular, the red dial Chronograph, is drop dead gorgeous. We see a gradient finish to the dial with tons of detail, one of the best looking cases I've seen on a watch at this price, and yes, you get a red rubber strap with this one too. I'll be 100% ordering this one myself, it's simply too good looking to miss. Bulova gets another watch on today's video, this time with the Jet Star. This one has a much deeper tone of red than most other watches today, almost like a wine red, but my word, is this one pretty. The case and bracelet shape here is angular and dynamic, but therefore offers a style that you don't see too often. You also get the smoothest sweep of a seconds hand on today's video with 16 ticks per second, thanks to the impressive quartz movement used here, something you'll only find in a handful of Bulova watches. Again, making this one something a bit different to add to the collection. Then we have one of the most refined looking watches on today's video with the Maen Manhattan Ultra Thin. This is Maen's take on an integrated bracelet sports watch, and I can confirm these look just as good in person as they do in the photos. The garnet red dial here has a Côte de Genie finish, which is incredibly dynamic in the light, and they aren't lying when they say this watch is ultra thin, coming in at just 6.9mm thanks to the Swiss mechanical movement. Now this watch will cost you, it's the most expensive watch today, but refinement ain't cheap. But if you want a watch that costs less than $500 but still looks expensive, then go and watch my 20 affordable watches that make you look rich video. 20 awesome watches, all affordable, great suggestions. You go and check it out. I'll see you over there, guys. Bye for now.